Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Yes. That was a collective sigh. They've never done that before. I don't know if they just had it with me. They're sighing about everything I'm asking them to do. But here at Maxwell, it's been an incredible day. I want to give you an idea of what's coming up the last half hour. Not only Rick and Bubba, who, by the way, everyone here listens to, and they flew in that C-130 just over my shoulder, which I hear is a luxurious ride. I want you to meet my three sportscasters.
Great.
Handling one story at a time. They're warming up in the bullpen. They promise not to pull anything. And they promise, I have to relay this, enlisted as well as officers here at Maxwell.
Great.
Okay? Sorry. Okay. I have to do what they say. They're armed. Okay? But it's just an amazing thing with history. You got the Wright brothers, where cotton fields were out here. The Wright brothers, we owe them a take of credit. We would not be allowed to fly if it wasn't for the Wright brothers coming with this great idea of the plane. And they trained other people, and then sadly they passed away. Seems like yesterday. And we're going to finish with a flurry because with the Lieutenant General in charge. By the way, you guys love your general, right? Lieutenant General Lorenz will be joining us talking about what it's going through. This is a cycle. All these men and women are coming through. They're going back, and they're coming back again. They get with their families again, and they come back and serve. As you guys are, a collective thank you to everyone that serves.
Absolutely.
And today, spotlight on Maxwell on the eve of Armed Forces Day.
That's right, and it's great that Brian is able to travel around the country on these Fridays to salute the men and women in uniform. And we'll be back with Brian and the guys and gals in a couple of minutes.
And it looks like he's having a great time, furthermore.
They're terrific, absolutely. Right, that's a quick look at your Fox Travelcast. Now we go out to Brian Kilmeade, who has got three people who are going to help him with the sports.
Absolutely, Stephen. And first off, let me tell you, a little bit later at the very Air Force Base, signing is how you play the game, and going over to Ross Bridge Golf Tournament and doing that. Dave, you get an extra merit, okay? An extra medal or something for bringing the book. All right, now it's time for the sports. Chief Master Sergeant Pam Derrow, let's go.
Okay, a bombshell in the doping hearings of reigning Tour de France champ Floyd Landis. Former Tour champ Greg LeMond said he was the target of a blackmail attempt to keep him from testifying. LeMond reveals he shared his childhood sexual abuse with Landis in an attempt to get him to open up about his doping test. But LeMond says he got an anonymous call traced to Landis' agent threatening to expose his painful past.
This is a painful story. Greg LeMond makes a lot of stuff up. And Landis facing a 2-year ban and loss of his crown if his failed doping test is upheld. Great job, Chief Master Sergeant. Now let's go. And what's your name?
Sergeant Brown.
Staff Sergeant Brown, go.
Yep. All right, Keyshawn Johnson visiting Tennessee this weekend. He's a free agent accepting a coach from
You got a call from Jeff Fisher, for goodness sakes. He's on another team. He's got a big attitude. He couldn't serve with you. It's too much about me, and you guys are all about serving others. Now, look at these stats, though. 11-year veteran.
He had 70 passes and 815 yards this past season for the Panthers.
All right. Will he help, guys? Yeah. You don't care. All right. And finally, sir, what's your name?
Master Sergeant Tom Walker.
All right, Tom, tell us.
Jermaine Taylor and Corey Spinks, mugging it up before the cameras, sort of like Brian. Before Saturday's
That's not in the script.
Taylor's defending his WBC and WBO crown. Spinks holds the IBF. Too many boxing titles to count. Don King on hand, never one to miss out on the fun. Spinks' father, former heavyweight champ Leon Spinks, will be in his son's corner.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, three outstanding sportscast stories. Am I right? Absolutely. And I'm going to be coming back between 6 and 8 and signing here. Is anyone going to come for my signing? Rick and Bubba, you know this well, the finest broadcasting team in the history of radio. You own Alabama. You own the South. Say hello to the finest America has to offer. Rick?
Well, let me tell you, it is great to be on with the folks there at Maxwell Air Force Base. We were actually there a few years ago where we went up in a C-130 with some of those guys. And I'm going to tell you what, this is the finest America has to offer right there with you, Brian.
Rick and Bubba, I don't know if you guys are both, and Speedy, the producer, is also on air, but tell me what the military means to this region, to this state, to this city.
Well, Brian, a lot of folks here serve in our military, not only full-time, but in the National Guard, and they make up a big component of our ready force, and we all have family members that have been in the military or have a neighbor or somebody we work with that are in the military in some form or fashion, and, you know, we just appreciate them being able to to leave their families behind and serve this country. And we know several generals who we've met, and they always tell us that when they're really up against the wall, they love when they get those troops from Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, because they get the job done.
Hey, by the way, Rick, can you guys confirm this? He says that Alabama, Georgia troops really get the job done. Is any of this true? I think it's true. Hey, you know what I also think about, too, when I see the people here serving, but I also see families left behind for 8, 10, 12, 14 months. Do you get that sense, Rick, and Bubba and Speedy, when you guys open up the phones and talk to people who are going through this?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times, Brian, when we have a wife, a child, or a family member that tells us they've got a loved one that is serving America, a forward position around the world, we always thank them for their service, and sometimes they're taken back by that. But you know what? The families are serving this country and sacrificing just as much, and in some cases more so, because I talked to a soldier the other day and had lunch with him who just came back, and he said, you know, I'm out there on the job. So I've got something to do all the time. My wife and children are left behind, you know, wondering what's happening to me, and they're trying to get information. So they're serving this country just like the loved one who's there.
Rick and Bubba, thanks for your support, and thanks for everything you do here. Back in a moment.